Today I'll take you down a little bit down memory lane, and this will be rather very powerful for me because this is a part of my life that was the most impactful. Now, it might sound silly for some of you. Anyway, I'll tell you. When we are young, we spend our whole lives in school. School is like the second home for us. And in school, there are teachers, there are classmates, and yes, there are those incidents that define us, The incidents at school really shape us. They make us, in a way, who we are. So it's kind of funny because for me, the memories I have in school was being the oddball out, was being the unwanted, uncool guy who never actually fit in. And I guess that tradition continued. I still don't fit in, So it has continued in my life all this while. So when you don't fit in, what happens is people don't tend to leave you alone. Either you're part of the group or you're, like they say, against the group. And obviously there are different groups and factions that form. There are the ultra cool gang, Then there are those who are studious and nerdy. Then there are those who are like, listen to heavy metal and, those are some of the music genres. Then there are those who are, just they are separate based on their religion or community. Okay? And finally, then there are people like me who was always seeking and searching where to fit in, or, the weird characters. You see in these Hollywood movies, those nerdy, those type of boys and girls who don't fit anywhere. So I was one of them. Now, what happened is I've had so many incidents whereby I either got into some problem with them, or some of them would gang up or group against me or make fun of me or bully me, or, I guess it's part of school life, and especially when you don't have your parents guiding you. In fact, I used to go to some of these guys' houses, and oh my goodness, they had posters on their wall, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, and they had amazing cool music deck and a computer, and computer was like a very big thing those days, the CRT monitor, and it's like, wow, you're cool, man, look at your house. And they had an AC and even the latest like Bose sound system. Oh, look at that, such a small thing, such big sound. So for me, on the other hand, typical South Indian family, when you enter the house, there is a big altar, the gods are kept right in front. In my case, it was a Christian god. There was a big table where we would eat food, sofa, TV was there, but only the father could watch his programs. There was no net or dish, So, no, something like Netflix or subscriber based, no, they wouldn't spend money on that. And once a while, they would just rent out a VCR. Those days, you had to rent out the physical tapes. So, it was a privilege. We were not allowed to watch, not allowed to listen to our own music. Only job was study. Boring life. It was not cool. And then obviously when you go to school, these cool kids and all that all have, amazing clothes, and some of them used to wear perfume also. Ooh, they used to wear perfume. And some used to, even in, high school, as you would call it, 10th, 11th and 12th, some would shave, and, we in my house, I was not allowed to shave actually. I know that sounds funny. and we were sweaty and stinky while these guys were smelling nice with cologne, and I was like, wow, you know. And obviously they'd have the new clothes, they would have shoes, and some of them even had their own car, you know. It's like, wow. So these, I know these memories might sound silly to you. It might sound like I'm talking from a movie, but these memories and moments stick with you, you know. They stick with you for the rest of your life. But then there are those moments where, obviously, I told you, people bully you, or they fight with you, or, you know, they gang up together against you, or they make fun of you. And for some funny reason, we tend to never forget them. They remain locked in our hearts. For me, I had a couple of these striking individuals who were larger than life for me. Whether I would hate them or whether I'd like them, they always had a very powerful impact. Imagine your own school, friends or schoolmates. Okay. But now, just imagine you have left school, you have gone about your own world, your own ways, into your own life. You have forgotten school days. And one fine day, imagine you meet them for a so-called school reunion around, say, 20 years later. That's pretty powerful, right? 20 years later, you're meeting them. So obviously the guys have changed physically. Some have become fat. Some have become really ugly. I mean, there was one of these guys who was supposed to be like the hottest model. Like, we used to consider like a model in the school, and girls used to swoon over him. He became a pot-belly, half-bald, ugly-looking guy. I was like, fuck, what happened to you? And then there are, surprising, it's like one of the biggest troublemakers in our school. Biggest troublemakers. Guy used to go on gang fights and all that. He became a family man, settled down. And then there was this other guy who would never want to study and never want to do anything, and always causing some headache or another. He ended up being a director of a company. So funny twists and turns of life. So obviously when you see all of them, it brings back a flood of memories, and you feel so happy, so joyous that you could meet and interact with people of your past. Okay, but here's Sadhika. But here's where the problem takes place. Okay. Now, obviously, you meet all these people. Hey, hi. Some are doing very successful. Some are doing really bad. But then there is the very large portion of people who, even if they have changed externally, internally there's it's like you're dealing with these kids all over again. I'll give a small example, okay? I'll give a small example. Not example, in the sense I'll give a specific incident. Like you remember in my previous videos I told you, right? No matter how great your accomplishment, no matter what you do, for your parents, okay, for your parents, for your relatives, you're still the small kid that they knew. You're still the person they will talk down to. They will never talk to you properly, or your colleagues might respect you, the world might look up to you, but they will not. Okay, because they're used to taking you for granted. Like an example that I'll give you with regards to this. Now you see my face tattooed, you see how I am. Clients pay me a lot of money to take my services. Okay. Now, even in Dubai, when I was doing well, I went to meet one of my relatives. This relative was cool, calm, chill pill. And I used to always like him a lot. He was like my uncle. And when I heard that all of them were coming together, all the relatives, whom when you're small you used to look up to and admire and all that, and you're so happy. So obviously when you go there, you're not going to go as a CEO or director or successful brand or this thing. You're just going to be that family person. You're going to let your guard down. You're going to let your defenses down. You're just going to be nice to them. So when I met them, I was like, hey, how are you? And so nice to see. That time I noticed this uncle of mine, who I always loved, who I always admired, always liked him a lot, always had good memories of him. So when he saw me in Hindi, by the way, just so that you know, my mother's sister married a Hindu man, okay? So they have Hindu relatives, okay? Mangalorean Hindu relatives. So when he saw me, now normally you'll expect, hello, like beta, hello beta, or you know, something, hey Loy, how are you? And something nice. This guy, along with this uncle of mine, with his other, I don't know, relatives who are there, he turns around and he says, "Ye chutiye ko dekh," and he starts laughing and giggling. And you know, for a guy who you thought was like a role model, whom you looked up to, you always looked up to him, and that uncle, you know, that man who's strong, because obviously they're bigger than you. And you see him acting like this, ye chutiye ko dekh, and he laughing sheepishly, like as if I did not hear. And then when he comes, ah Loy, and then he giggling like a girl. You know, that really put me off. Okay, fine, maybe you might find tattoos funny and all that. At least show some class. I got so put off. I was like, I decided to leave after some time. I didn't stay for too long. Another example, see, why am I making this video is because of this particular example. I'll tell you. I was telling, you know, all the school friends and all the school mates. So we all decided we'll meet at a particular bar or pub in Dubai. I think this was Blues and Q's. It was in Dera, Sri Lankan bar and pub. Okay, bar and restaurant, or pub and restaurant, whatever. So we all went there, and some of them said, okay, let's meet at next to that was a Filipino disco. So some of them said, okay, let's meet there. So as usual, but those days I was really big, bodybuilding, and so all the guys, hey, hi, how are you? You know, obviously all of us are like feeling good, and because I had muscled, and I'm talking of when I was 30. I was muscled and, you know, feeling happy to shake hands with everyone. In fact, even my childhood bully was there. He didn't look so imposing now. So I was like, okay, you used to beat me up, now you can't. Yeah, so yeah, we're just talking, and hey, how are you? And man, it's great to see you and all that. Okay, fine. All of a sudden, as I was sitting down, suddenly I felt a whack on my head. A sharp whack. Like someone hit me. It's a good thing I was not in one of the gym rage kind of moments. I turned around and I don't know what I would have done. I just turned around and who the fuck hit me? You know, because people don't hit you just all of a sudden. And when I turned, I saw, you know, part of that cool gang was one shorty fuck. Say, the Indian truth. Okay, so this short fuck, he whacks me at the back. And the typical language that you use in school, hey, motherfucker, how are you? What the fuck are you doing in this and that? That, you know, that cheap, childish school language. Hey, motherfucker, how are you doing? And the bastard showing off and such a big and this. I really wanted to put my fist into his face or just break him in two halves. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Old timer. And still talking nonsense. Hey, a bitch of a asshole, he's this, he's that. Okay. Anyway, we all were having a good time, so I didn't want any drama or nothing. We're fine. The second get together they had after some other time. Once again, same bunch, some of them acting nonsense. Okay. Now this time there was no incident like hitting and all that. We kept quiet. But after the session meeting, then you start hearing people bitching about, hey, you were saying that you're a truth and you act like this, and You begin to think like, man, we have come to meet together just to have a good time. Why all this bitching about, okay, fine. There also I excused it. And then lo and behold, before you know it, they create a WhatsApp group. They create a WhatsApp group where all these guys are, oh my goodness. This was by far the most ridiculous experience I've ever had. Now, when you create a WhatsApp group, initially or when you join, there is excitement. And I know this because I have now 11 groups and I've created and closed down many groups over the years. Right now, I think it is at 9 or something. I've created 15, deleted 9, then 7, there's that. It has gone on and on. Okay, so now I have, let's say, in and around 10 groups. Let's take a rounded figure. So initially, whenever you create a new group, the excitement is crazy. Sometimes they'll send up to 500 messages, a day. So when this school group was created, it was not 500, it was nearly like 2,000 messages. And every time you just switch off, and when you switch back on, 500 messages. And it was crazy. And, we were all excited. We were all happy. Friends that we never saw for 20 years, some of them for, 30 years. It was like, wow. 16 was the last, so what is the date? 16 to, say, 36, say 20 years, 20 years. 20 years, the people you never met, oh, you're so excited, you're so happy. And all of them are chatting back and forth and, hey, you remember you used to do this, oh, what about that guy, oh, what about this guy, what about this teacher, what about that girl? They're all talking. But the thing that kind of irritated me, okay, all this was nice. The thing that irritated me was some of them were using profanities. Hey, you motherfucker, you're a fucking tard and you piece of shit, ha ha ha. And, acting like small children. Just imagine, these are people who are 36 years old, nearly 40, okay? And they're talking like children. They're like, hey, fuck you, mother, hey, you shut you bastard, hey, your pubic hair is this and your face looks like that and you're this thing off my ball sack and, that, okay, first it's kind of funny, but after some time it loses its, it becomes a very dirty, filthy, like, you're looking at this conversation and you're like, how does this help anyone? Okay, so you just ignore it. And there are still these moments where some people you respect and all that, and some people who you did not like in your school days, but you respect them being part of your memory. And I had my school bully who, I'll tell you, I actually made peace with him in the sense that I called him and I told him, you are a very big part of my life, and most of the things you did kind of hurt me, but it made me a better person. So I opened my heart and I spoke to him. Now I expected it to, like, hey, it's cool, man. It went a little awkward, but I was like, okay, fine, at least I said what I had to. As we were all of us are just talking, then suddenly these guys, all of a sudden turned, 2-3 of them, not all, 2-3 of them turned on me. Out of the blue, for no reason. Hello, what the fuck you think you are, and this and that, and like, huh? What? Yeah, I was just going on. Oh, you are sharing all this info. Oh, breaking news. Oh, what the fuck? So they started to make fun of the work that I do. And, I don't take that very lightly. So whenever I would share any news, oh, look who's fucking sharing. Oh, ha, ha. Oh, someone really great. Oh, my goodness, CNN should contact Loy. Okay, fine. When it comes to your work, or what you do, you don't enjoy people making fun. And I remember very well, it was the Address Hotel that caught fire near Burj Khalifa. Okay, I'd shared this information. All of them were mocking, making fun. What crap is he talking? You're jobless and this and that. Okay, fine. I just kept quiet. Before you know it, some more joined in. And then when we were going back and forth, making fun of each other, obviously, you make fun, I make fun of you. So this guy, this bully guy, okay, he got in, how to put Loy in his place? So I was like, yeah, go ahead. Impress me, make my day and all that. He's like, I'll show you how to put Loy. So, Loy, you're a fucking asshole. Let's see your best response. So I was typing out the response, and suddenly I find out I've been thrown out of the group. Okay? And I just keep quiet. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Okay, he throws me out of the group. And then before I know it, again he adds me back and he's like, ha 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 ha. Okay, so something, he again says something, you're a piece of shit and all that. So I was typing out and I was about to send, again he throws me out of the group. And this really, I don't know, it just, I didn't like it. Basically, I didn't like it. I mean, you want to feel great by not having a leveled playing field, and then you want to feel empowered by treating someone like shit. So I didn't like this at all. When I got back, I gave them, what the fuck and this and that. Whoa, Loy, chill man, chill pill, and everyone like, I mean, you trigger the person, and then when you get it given back, hey, chill. Now, I'm not saying that we were going to get into a physical fight, but you know, it's like the disrespect. Fine, sorted out, all chill pill, everyone's quiet. And then we used to continue this. That time I was in Dubai, so I used to share information about UAE when I was in Dubai privately in the group without sharing it outside. And Expo 2020 was launched new, so obviously I was not in favor. One fine day, before I know it, these guys just throw me out of the group when I shared that, you know, rents are going up and this and that. They just boot me out of the group. No explanation, nothing. And then I wonder what the fuck happened. And then I'm told that you are posting shit about UAE. Nobody wants to lose their job. So, okay, I kept quiet. I didn't say anything. It felt bad. Honestly, it felt very bad. They could have had a better way to tell me, like, don't share anything negative about UAE in the WhatsApp group. They didn't do that. Okay, fine. Everything was forgotten. So you get what I'm trying to say, right? Okay. Everything was forgotten, came to Thailand, and some of them were in touch with me. Some of them were in touch. Okay? And just one thing before I tell you about the Thailand. In between, one of the guys, when I had gone through in Dubai with a business partnership, someone cheated me of a huge sum of money. I was going through a tough time. One of them had helped me with $500. That's $150. Okay? He said, Loy, just take it. It's as a gift. Okay? While he was drinking alcohol in a bar, him and his friend gave me $500. I was appreciative of it. Okay? So take it as a gift. Just take it and go. And you're talking of the guy being a director. He, you know, very successful, high-level position. Fine. Okay, so now I leave, I come to Thailand, and in Thailand I'm not part of this group, but obviously one by one, you know, these guys, they find out and they get in touch with you and they talk to you, and they talk to you like friends, and you put your guard down because you think they are your family. You put your guard down because you think they are your friends. Fine, everything is going well, and obviously life goes on and you don't keep in touch. Now, just yesterday, I got a screenshot from one of the guys in the group, and he shares with me this screenshot, asking them, you know, I have a new agency, I'm sourcing out talent. So the same guy who is to call me here, okay, he's a family man, he is married with, yes, 3 daughters, 2 daughters, I don't know. Whatever, he has 2 daughters or 3 daughters, whatever. He used to call me up and he was very emotional. He used to always, like, I would feel that he's broken, and I really genuinely cared about the guy. He spoke for a couple of times and he vanished. Okay. In the group, the same guy who used to talk to me like a friend and who used to open his heart and share his insecurities, when this guy, again, schoolmate, school friend, my class, this thing, he said, we're looking for talent. He went something like, are you looking for, I don't know, bullshit talent or something like bullshitters? Then you missed out, Loy. We kicked him out of the group or something like that. And this guy is like, I prefer Loy to a Zoolander. Means he was talking about him. I prefer Loy to, people like you. And then he was like, anyway, thank you very much, gentlemen. I'm out of this group. And he left the group. And he shared this, he shared this conversation with me. You just imagine the person who used to call you up, actually call you. There was no financial transaction between us. But you used to open your heart and listen to him talk, and, like you thought like he's like a friend, a family. And they talk like this. So then you think like, man, what kind of characters these people are? And then you realize, okay, the only reason you gave them respect is because you thought they're part of your family or your old memories or friends. Then you realize, man, these guys are fucking assholes. In the real world, you wouldn't even look in their direction. You remember the guy who I told you, who's hit me at the back of the head? That fucking dog, he lives on his wife's earnings. Okay? He's a fucking loser, but you see him anywhere outside, talks fucking big. You remember I told you that guy who gave me $150, director of a bank. Big guy, successful. I had a lot of admiration for him, a lot of respect, and he and I didn't see things eye to eye, but I always admired him. To my shock, he sends me a message. Now that you're doing well, he tells me, I want my $500 back. I'll give you my bank account, transfer it back. Just imagine someone tells you, like someone tells you, this is a gift, just take it, Now, it's not that I didn't have the money to give him back. But I've always made it clear to people who help me in my time of need. I'm very specific. I tell people, if you're helping me, I will not be able to pay you this back. Okay? Or, no, I will not and may not. And they say, it's okay, fine, take it. Only if they say that. If they say, no, I want it back, then I don't take it. Because I know there'll always be something that will come up. So even when I give someone something, I just say, take it. That's why the girl who got my name tattooed on her chest, I'd given her the money as dowry. We are supposed to get married, but she took it and ran away. I never asked for it back. Gone. I asked once. She said, I spent it. I said, forget it. No need. I don't want to break my peace of mind. Now, it's not that guy harassed me. After he asked me back and I told him this, I told him, see, listen, if I take money, I always tell people I'm not going to pay it back, or I will not pay it back, or I may not pay it back. These statements. And you gave it to me as a gift. And today I have a wife and kid. Every penny that I earn, I think, okay, this extra revenue, how can I keep it for my kid? I'm not going to give it back. I'm not going to give anything. If I took money from you and I wrote it down, I will pay you back. Or I give you my word, even a verbal word, I will pay you back. Guaranteed I'll pay you back. I'll stick to my word. But if you have given as a gift and you say, take it. Just imagine you give someone a gift. And after, what? How many years? 7 years or 6 years of whatever. And now I want the $100 back. And that also not a poor person, huh? It just goes to show you how people are. I know you'll say, Loy, you should have. No, money is money. Fuck off. I'm not going to give. Even $10. Okay, I will not give for free. No. In this case, when I had asked, I was very specific. I will not pay you back, or I may not pay you back. I said, fine. Then, yeah, all this left a very bad taste in my mouth. Imagine there's one guy in my group, young boy. I bought him a laptop. Purchased him a laptop because he needed it for his work. Okay. Then there's another boy in my group. He wanted a laptop because he runs a small little business, or he works as a freelancer. I gathered money to buy him a laptop. Now imagine these boys who have purchased. Even there was a girl who wanted a placement in Dubai, and that was the last because there's too much of drama after that. Now imagine I've helped these people, given them money or helped them. Just imagine after helping them, okay, I want it back now. Give me the 500, give me the $100, give me the $50. All of you, give me the money back. What? You know, what I've realized as you become older, no, it's better to move on, man. It's seriously better to move on. You should move on, or you're making a big mistake. Really, you're making a big mistake if you don't move on. If you still stick around, and you're making a big mistake. Once you pass by a phase, be it school days, be it college, be your relatives, don't go back. Even my own mother, father, stepfather, people ask me why forgive them. Forgive them for what? They're still shameless, like that uncle of mine. Fucking shameless. So instead of ruining my peace of mind, today I'm fucking 45? I'm going to be 50. Why do I need all this? Socialize for what? Old time memories. What does it do? It just gives a feeling of nostalgia. But then overall it's fuck all, right? That's why it's best to just move on, man. No need all these friends, no need all this validation, no need all this. And just imagine if your sense of self-worth would be based on what your friend circle or school friends or college mates would say, or your relatives. If your sense of worth, then you know how I used to feel. I used to feel like shit, and I used to feel so broken because mother, father were never there. Church, nobody was there. Nobody was there. It would have destroyed me. I'd never be the guy that I am today. Because I broke away from all these people, I'm far better. Far better. They will continue being like a group of gossipy housewives. Gossiping. And oh, the language, oh, you fuck you, you're like my ballsack, oh, your face looks like this, oh, my ass spews out more shit. And imagine grown-ass people acting like this. They'll say, oh, I don't act like this everywhere, only in this group. No, why? For what? Why in this group? Why are you two-faced? It's like, no, outside I show I respect women, but others I go and molest every possible female, go to prostitutes, and I will not spare underage girls. That's their logic. In disgusting human beings. We make the mistake thinking that just because they're part of our families or part of our memories, that they're good human beings. It's not the case. Like this, once an asshole, always a fucking asshole. Better. That's why, once you move on in life, don't turn back, don't look back. And that is why I prefer keeping away all these people, whether they are good, whether they are bad. I don't need to ruin my peace of mind. I'm happy, very happy. My little family, have my money, have my this, and fuck off, all of it. That's why I don't allow anyone to come close to me, meet me, nothing, interact. Don't need, don't want, and don't care. Anyway, let me know what are your thoughts. Love to hear from you. You guys take care.